how did everybody get into franchising? Okay, people get into franchising in a lot of different ways. Some people, they work with like a franchise consultant who will then kind of show them different brands that they might be interested. They'll kind of interview you, ask you questions about what you like, what you're passionate about, and then they'll present some options to you. Some people became franchisees because they worked at the company. A great example is Chick-fil-A. A lot of people actually that's exclusively how they do it. They have their employees become franchisees. And there's others that do some things very similar. At That One Painter, we are doing a mix. Some people met us at like a trade show. Other people came to us through franchise consultants. And then we have employees that have become franchisees as well. And so if you don't have a high net worth or you don't have a lot of cash on hand, there are ways to potentially get in with a loan through like the SBA. Actually, there are entire lenders who focus just on franchising and helping people become franchisees. You got to have a decent credit score, but you don't necessarily have to have that much cash. Normally you need to have about 20% of the loan amount in cash. So if you don't have a ton of cash, that's one option to look at. And the other one is get a job at a franchise and see if you can work your way up. And that might be a way as well. Get a job at Chick-fil-A, even though it's pretty hard to become a franchise owner there. Even in That One Painter, some of our employees even at other locations, not just the original Austin location, have now become franchisees. So there's definitely ways to do it. Also, there's all sorts of really cool ways of getting the money through. Even like if you're a homeowner, you could do like a HELOC. It's a way to basically get some of that money from your equity in your home. There are lots and lots of ways to get the cash if you don't have it. We had one guy, he had a couple BMWs that he had, and extra cars that he had been working on, and he sold those to become a franchisee. So there's always a way. I don't think that cash is as big of a problem as people think it is. Obviously, you need money to buy a franchise, but there are ways to get it. So money all aside, you do want to pick a brand that you're passionate about. But let me kind of rephrase that even a bit more. Is you need to first become passionate about business, because if you're talking about becoming a franchisee, what you're really saying is that you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to run a business. And so yes, you need to pick a brand that you're passionate about. I'm really big on that. But what you first need to do is make sure you're actually passionate about business and becoming an entrepreneur, because it is very, very different than being a manager or being an employee. It can be a lot more rewarding, but it can also be a lot more stressful, and you need to be prepared for that. So make sure that you're reading a lot of things about business, that you're studying entrepreneurship, that you're watching videos from entrepreneurs and getting inspired. And once you really have a lot of passion for business, then yes, you need to pick a brand that you actually want to be a part of. You might be surprised that a lot of our franchisees didn't think that they would ever be in the painting industry, but they fell in love with our brand and our culture and our people and the stories they heard from our franchisees. And so they got into the painting industry with That One Painter because they fell in love with the brand and opportunity more than they were maybe in love with home services or painting trade. So it's really important, I would say, are you passionate about business? Make sure that you have that at least.